Picture this. You stand before a Viking assembly. The crowd watches in silence. Your fate rests in the hands of men who value honor more than life itself. One wrong verdict, and you could lose everything. Your freedom, your family, even your skin. In the Viking world, justice wasn't gentle, it was savage. Today, we're diving into the brutal punishments that kept the Norse world in line. Forget the idea of law being kind or fair. For the Vikings, law was survival. Break it, and you threatened the whole community. A thief could starve a village. A murderer could spark a blood feud lasting generations. So punishments had to be harsh, terrifying, unforgettable. Justice played out at the Thing, a massive open-air court where free men gathered. It wasn't just about guilt or innocence, it was about honor. People shouted, argued, and demanded vengeance. The assembly didn't just hand down punishments, it put your reputation on trial, and once you were judged, the consequences were brutal. For smaller crimes, the Vikings used vergild, the man price. Every person had a value. Hurt someone, and you had to pay their price in silver, livestock, or land. Kill someone, and you owed their family even more. Pay and peace was restored. Failed to pay? Then the family could take revenge, and believe me, Viking revenge wasn't pretty. The most feared punishment wasn't torture, it was outlawry. Imagine being declared outside the law. Suddenly, you're no longer a person. Anyone can kill you, and no one will be punished. You can't buy food, can't find shelter, can't trust anyone. Outlaws lived like hunted animals, starving in the wilderness, waiting for the moment an axe found their back. For many, outlawry was a slower, crueler death than execution. When proof was lacking, the Vikings left it to the gods. Trial by ordeal was terrifying. You might be forced to grip a bar of red-hot iron, walk barefoot across burning coals, or plunge your arm into boiling water. If the wounds healed clean, the gods declared you innocent. If they festered, you were guilty. Either way, you were left scarred for life, if you survived at all. For crimes like theft, the punishment was humiliation carved into your body. Thieves could lose fingers, ears, or even noses, marks that branded them forever. Some were whipped in public squares, their screams echoing as crowds jeered. Others were branded with hot irons, a scar they would carry to the grave. Viking society was built on honor, and these punishments weren't just about pain. They destroyed your reputation. And then there's the infamous blood eagle. Some sagas describe a punishment so horrific, it still shocks us today. The victim's back cut open, ribs broken outward, lungs pulled through to resemble wings. Historians still argue whether it ever truly happened or was just a brutal legend. But the fact that Vikings told the story at all shows how fearsome they wanted their justice to sound. Women weren't spared either. Adultery could ruin them. Some were divorced and cast out, others faced fines or worse. Yet Viking women also had surprising legal power. They could demand divorce, claim inheritance, and even bring killers to trial. But when punished, the shame was often doubled, because in a society obsessed with honor, a woman's reputation was as fragile as glass. In rare, chilling cases, punishment became ritual. Some executions were sacrifices to the gods, blood spilled not just for justice, but as an offering. Imagine watching a condemned man executed, not only to settle human law, but to satisfy Odin himself. Justice and religion were woven together, and punishment wasn't just about order, it was about fate. To us, Viking punishment seems savage, but to them, they were necessary. A community of farmers and warriors couldn't afford chaos. Harsh justice kept society intact. It reminded everyone that honor was sacred, and breaking the law was more than crime. It was betrayal of the whole community. So what happened if you broke the law in the Viking Age? You might pay silver, you might face exile, you might be scarred for life, or lose it in the most brutal way imaginable. Viking justice wasn't mercy, it was fear, honor, and blood. And in that world, one mistake could end your story forever.